From the insufferable Roman who's mean to literally everyone, to Shiv who cheated on her adorable hubby, here are the most hated characters in succession. Starting with the mastermind himself, Logan. He's the ultimate business mogul. But let's be real, he's got absolutely no talent. The craziest thing is that he manages to succeed at everything he does.
Something very important occurred to me. There were no last rites. And I thought the only way I can receive any kind of
even though he's a terrible businessman, he's always getting what he wants. From buying Pierce, to getting the raisin off of the DOJ's back, to offering Kendall up like a piece of meat. And get this, he always blames his kids for everything that goes wrong, but he never takes responsibility for his own failures. It's like he's got some kind of evil magic that makes everyone around him think he's competent, when in reality, he's just a grumpy old man. He takes credit for all his victories, but the truth is that someone else is always doing the heavy lifting, while Logan sits back and takes all the glory. And don't even get me started on his abusive behavior. He's constantly yelling at his kids and employees, telling them they're worthless, and making up lies to cover his own mistakes. But somehow, everyone still thinks he's the man. It's like he's got the whole world fooled. Though, up next is a character who's not as strong. In fact, he's pretty bland. It's Connor Roy. Okay, so have you seen the guy on Succession? What even is he? He's like a non-alcoholic beer. Totally pointless. Adds nothing to the party, but he's still hanging around like he's something special. And get this, he's the eldest of the Roy siblings, but he's got zero interest in their family business. At first you think, oh, that's kinda cool. He's doing his own thing. But then you realize he's actually crazy. Like, it's a good thing he's not showing up to Waystar's office every day, because he'd probably try to burn the whole place down with a damn yogurt pot. Let me tell you, the poor guy is dumber than a bag of rocks, which is one of the reasons why he's so annoying to the fans. He's out here thinking he can buy love from an escort by throwing more and more money at her. And get this, he actually lives on a freaking ranch. Like, who does that? But wait, it gets even better. He's got these delusions of grandeur and thinks he could be president of the United States. Come on now. Even my cat has more political savvy than him. And the cherry on top of this train wreck Sunday, he actually believes his opinions matter to the Roy family. Bless his heart. Someone needs to give him a reality check ASAP. I'm all for rooting for the underdog, but this guy needs a wake-up call. That said, now it's time to introduce the man you've been waiting for, Ken. He's basically the epitome of insufferable. He's always trying to distance himself from his dad, but there are definitely some Freudian shenanigans going on there, if you catch my drift. And let's not even get started on his desperate need for validation from Daddy Dearest. The guy can throw a tantrum like nobody's business. In one season, he fancied himself the hero of sorts, or maybe just a major drama queen, who knows? And it just made him even more unbearable. Also, let's not forget his cringe-worthy rap career. Yikes. We're still recovering from that one. He's on a whole other level of drama. He's not afraid to stir up some PR trouble just to make himself look good in a family feud. It's like he's addicted to the attention. And don't even get me started on his insane levels of self-absorption. The guy practically oozes narcissism. But here's the kicker. He's also the only one in the Roy family who seems capable of feeling anything resembling remorse, even when he's knee-deep in one of his ridiculous schemes. There's a hint of sadness in his eyes that just makes him seem all the more pitiful. Then we have the charming man that always manages to get on our nerves. I'm talking about Roman.
I'm dead serious.
You got the haircut.
The guy who mic'd me, he was like, where do I do the wires? Go, actually, there's holes in the pockets to pull the wire because this is costume. It didn't occur to me until last night that I have to wear clothes.
Of course. Okay, let's talk about Roman. What a hot mess this guy is. He's been causing trouble since day one. Remember when he ripped up that check in front of that poor kid? What a jerk move. And don't even get me started on all the other crap he's pulled. Let me give you the highlights. First off, there's the infamous incident where he sent Jerry some unsolicited pics of his nether regions, even after she told him to knock it off. And get this, he did it during during a corporate meeting. Talk about inappropriate things. Oh, and did I mention he accidentally sent that same pic to his own father? Yeah, that happened. And if that's not enough, he also physically attacked his own brother on his birthday, hurling some pretty brutal insults beforehand. And let's not forget all the insensitive things he says on a regular basis. Seriously, the guy has zero filters, so he's definitely not winning any awards for nicest person. But some might argue that he's not the worst on this list. Sure, he's done some pretty awful things, and we won't even get into his creepy habits, but it's worth noting that he's also a victim of abuse. I mean, did you see the way Logan treats him in Argestes? It's downright disturbing. Here's the thing though, all of the Roy kids have been through some pretty messed up stuff at the hands of their parents, but for some reason, Roman always seems to get the worst of it. It's enough to make you feel sorry for the guy. However, it's now time for the special woman, Willa Fiera. Let's talk about Willa, shall we? Honestly, there's not a whole lot to love here. She's Connor's fiance and a wannabe playwright, but it's pretty clear that she's not exactly head over heels for the guy. I mean, come on, have you seen the way she treats him? Some might say she's just using him to get ahead in life, which is a bit of a harsh take. Maybe she's just doing what she can to survive in this crazy world, you know? But regardless of her motivations, it's hard to deny that she's not exactly a shining star in the Royverse. She's just kind of there, not really contributing anything of value. Of course, there might be some folks out there who are into that whole manipulative queen thing. Hey, no judgment here, but for the rest of us, Willa's just another cog in the machine. And then the last queen that we can't miss out on, Shiv. Oh, Shiv. At first, we thought she was the golden child, the only one with a moral compass in the Roy family. But boy, were we wrong. First off, she cheats on her husband-to-be, Tom, and has the nerve to suggest an open marriage on their wedding night. And let's not forget how she only cares about herself and her own desires. Poor Tom is just a pawn in her game. But the real kicker was when she betrayed her own father during negotiations with the Pierce family. In the ultimate power move, she revealed that Logan wanted her to be his successor, ruining any chance she had of taking over Waystar Royco. Talk about biting the hand that feeds you. It turns out, Shiv's supposed values are nothing more than a facade. And let's be real, she's not exactly a genius when it comes to business either. Kendall may have his faults, but he's got more business sense in his pinky than Shiv does in her entire being. Anyway, that's all I had for you on the most hated characters from Succession.